Well, today I want to talk a little bit about garden prep and some things that I've kind of learned through the years. Maybe I could help somebody out. But if you're gardening the same spot, so you have the same garden spot, which I do, I have a couple different spots, but I've been doing the same spots for at this place for about 15 years. So, um, as you know, your soil will lose some of its uh, nutrition, some of what it can give your plants over a period of time. So it's important to try to um, check your soil. And here in Arkansas, we have a real good program with our local county extensions and the state where you can actually send in your soil sample for free. And so if you live here in Arkansas or check your local extension office or wherever you are, it's a really good source uh, of pretty much free information to let you know what's going on in the ground. Of course, the better nutrients you got for whatever you're trying to grow is vital, and it'll help you get better output. So take advantage of that if you have that. If not, I'm sure you can get them online, but it's just a real good thing to know what's in your soil. A lot of people are frustrated with, I can't get this to grow or that to grow, and a lot of times it's just a little bit of change that you can add in your soil, a little bit of different fertilizer that can make all the difference in the world, whatever you're trying to grow. You can also, most of the time, change those forms or however your state does it to be specific about as to what you are planting there. For instance, if you're trying to grow corn on one big stand, you can adjust your soil just for corn. Or for me, we do just a family garden for my family and immediate family. So I want it to just be a general vegetable garden. So they can also help you with that. So you can be specific. So that's kind of neat if you are trying to grow something particular. Some people do have like a pea patch and somewhere where they grow potatoes year round or different things like that. I also want to talk a little bit about if you have limited space, if you don't just have a big open field and you can do as much as you want, about making the most out of your space. And so today we're doing a little bit late this year. We've had the worst floods in 35 years, and we're planting tomatoes and a couple other things today that we got. But of course, getting your soil ready is important. Make sure it's good and tilled up. It's just easier to work with. You can see I got a lot of sandy loam here, so it's not bad to work with, but it does wash a lot easier. So you do got to take that into account. But if you can see, you can get kind of really specific, and you kind of should if you have a small space. You want to get the most out of your garden spot as you can. So I usually, my tiller, I just have a walk behind tiller that I keep the rows cleaned up with, and it'll cut 16 or 18 inches wide. So you want to give your plants enough room to grow, of course, but unless you want to do all of it by hand, and that just depends on you. Some folks will pack their plants in there tighter. I like to give my rows about 36 inches, so about 3 foot was what we got these rows started planting off. And of course, it's just easy to, I think this section right here is about 50 foot long, 50 or 60 foot long, so it's easy to come over, mark it on one end, mark it on the other, and get you a pretty straight line so that you're not wasting any space. Also, when you're walking between the rows or tilling between the rows, before your seed comes up, make sure you mark it good. Make sure you got, a lot of times I'll just leave, you can do marks on the ground, or sometimes I'll just leave the string there or something if it's my last row, just to kind of give me a good idea of where it's at. Those are just some stories I've heard people have problems with, is forgetting exactly where they planted the row and didn't know if it was coming up on time, or walked across your row and messed it up. And so it's the little things that make it a little bit easier and make you a little bit more successful without having a lot of trouble. A lot of people say, well, I don't want to grow a garden and I'd really like to, but I don't know where to start, or I've had this happen in the past, or it's just too tough. Or I think it's important to share information with each other. And so the easier you can make it on yourself, do that. You're supposed to be enjoying it, providing for your family and growing things. So anyway, we'll get back to planting these the beginning of this garden.